I want to talk about another time there was kind of a Me Too moment, or two, or three. In graduate school, I was still closeted, and I was a TA, a teacher's assistant, for the movement teacher in my second year of graduate school. And I taught a survey course for people that didn't want to be in, that, it was a class for their arts, whatever, towards their degree, for undergraduates. And I taught it for 3 quarters, 3 different classes. And in the second class, and I know it was the second class because I remember that I was in the university show. This was at the University of Minnesota, Billy Budd. And the class, there was movement things in the class, but the big project for these young people was memorizing a scene from a well-known play. And there were a lot of plays, and I don't remember how it worked exactly. I think they would say, okay, this is the list of the plays, and you really need to choose from this list. I was responsible, so I had to read all the plays, and there were like 30 to 40 of them, and I had to read them all, and and there was a scene from each play that they could choose from. And I believe they were allowed to go, read the plays, and if they wanted to read a bunch, or I don't think they were assigned scenes. I don't remember how it worked. Anyway, there was a young man, and he'd been I don't remember him at first. I'm sure I must have noticed him. I know that he was very good looking and very pretty. That's all I remember about him, oddly enough. But he was very, all through the class, so I would have to do this, and so when I move, I have to move like this. I don't know that I can do it. And there was a time when I thought about slapping him and saying, stop, you're just making me cringe. But I remember that about him. And now, I haven't thought about him until a few months ago. Anyway, so he was assigned a scene with a girl who was in my class, and she had been dating an actor in the department. I don't remember if she was still dating him or not at that time. He was an undergraduate too. And she wasn't a theater major. Like I said, the class was for non-theater majors. And so they were assigned, I believe it was a Eugene O'Neill piece, and it was about two young kids. And there was a kind of a little monologue in it for the man. But it was a scene. And my responsibility was that I had to coach them once before they put the scene on. And so my class, there were 30-some people in the class, so there were like 15 to 16 couples, doing scenes, but 2 men together, 2 women together, and boys and girls together, a variety of things. And I had to schedule a time to do it. And it was, of course, towards the end of the quarter when finals were coming up, and I had things to do. I was in a show, my nights were busy, so it was tough. And I had to arrange rooms to meet them in the theater department so that I could coach them. It was a lot of work. And he didn't show up to his coaching session. And he came into class the next day or so and said, I'm so sorry. I just forgot. I'm so sorry. So I had to schedule another one and to go get a room. And he didn't show up again. And then I believe that happened a third time. So I had to go. The girl, of course, was going crazy. This was a big part of her grade. And she didn't have a scene partner that was showing up. So I went out and I found a friend who I worked with in a show and asked him to come in and let me coach him. And we didn't have a lot of time at that point to do the scene with the girl. So he came in and he did that, and they did the scene, and the boy didn't do the scene. But the boy came in, oh, my grandmother died. Well, your grandmother died 3 times? What? I don't know. But I was a responsible young man, and I was a TA, and he said, what can I do? What can I do? So I said, okay, well, there's that scene, and it has a little monologue in it. You memorize that, and we'll work on it. There was no rooms. But it was a 6th floor building that was the theater department was in, and there were other departments in the upper stories. So on the 4th floor was the maintenance area, and the elevator opened up, and there was like a small space. I don't remember, like 20 by 8. It was an odd little space, and then there was a door, and there was a huge maintenance area. The air conditioners, and I don't know what. I didn't go in there. The door was locked. But sometimes we used it, we theater people, to rehearse in. So I took him up there. I didn't tell him, and he was like, where are we going? Where are we going? Like, he had some other plan, but I couldn't get him a space. So we went up there, and we started to work, and he didn't have it memorized. And I was getting angry, and then he kind of came close to me, and he started speaking softly, and he said, maybe we could do other stuff. And he started unbuttoning his shirt. What he didn't understand at this point is I hated him. And he was unbuttoning his shirt, and I said, so what are you doing? Why are you unbuttoning your shirt? And he got a little flustered, and I said, button your shirt, guy. We're working on this monologue. We're not doing anything else. So we worked on the monologue, which was difficult because it wasn't memorized. And I said, okay, so I don't remember what day it was, but in 3 days, you're doing this. So he did, and it was crappy. He didn't have his lines memorized. So, but he did show up for those last classes. So, he'd been tardy a lot and missed classes. So he was getting a D. And he asked me what I thought his grade was going to be, and I told him. And then shortly thereafter, before the grades came out, before I had done everything, he came in. We called it the pit. You walked in, and then there was stairs down, and that's where we theater people in the department met. It was noisy. There was no soundproofing, and it went up several stories. But he came in with a friend, totally different, assertive, masculine. Okay, well, I'm going to tell everybody that you made sexual advances towards me, and my friend is going to back me up. And I said, what are you? And you made sexual advances? No, I did not. You made the sexual advances. Well, who are they going to believe? So, and I felt terrible guilt because I was closeted, and I thought he must have read that. I must have done something, and maybe I did. I mean, not to make a play for him. I would never make a play for a student. I was young and closeted back then, but I was terrified. He said, "No, I want an A. I'm getting an A, right? I'm not somebody that you tell what to do. That's why I can't be a soldier. I can't. I just don't take orders well." And maybe that was his mistake. Maybe if he'd been nice about it, I don't know. But I just no, you're not getting an A. And he badgered me, and his friend badgered me, and I said, there is no goddamn way I'm giving you an A. You're getting your D. He said, all right, I'm going to go to the authorities here in the department. I said, you go right ahead. And we'll have that confrontation, and I'll tell them my side of the story and what you did. And we'll see what happens. And he came, and he left, and I was scared, and I had a couple of really bad nights, and he came back later, that week with his friend, or the next week with his friend. And he said, am I getting an A? And I said, no, you're not. And he said, okay. And he walked up towards the offices, and I sat there and watched, and he didn't go in. And he got his D, and I never heard from him again. I would like to be a fly in the wall in his life right now. I would like to know how he turned out. Maybe he's okay in the fake news world. I don't know. But he did not get an A. So, but that's my other kind of Me Too thing. Okay, I'm going to do a live video thing or whatever on Monday the 22nd at 7:30. I don't know. It makes me very scared. I've never... Doing a live stuff, I've always had rehearsal. I won't have rehearsal for this. I'll maybe try to rehearse some things. I don't know. I've never done it before. I don't even know if it will work. So, we'll see. Okay, bye.